Hello, everyone, and welcome to another AP Chemistry virtual lesson. But this week, we're going to run things a little bit differently. So this is prep week for the 2020 AP exams. And for chemistry, today is an opportunity to practice for the 2020 AP Chemistry exam. So what you're going to see in today's lesson are two questions. And these questions are representative of the tasks that you will see on this year's exam and within the time you will be allotted on the actual exam. Please note that while these questions are designed to be similar in structure and format to what you will see on this year's AP Chemistry exam, they are not intended to be representative of the content that will be assessed. So we're going to take a look at each question, and then I will talk about the submission. Again, in terms of practice today, you can find not only the full question, so there's question 1 and question 2 at the following link. That's again tinyurl.com/AP Chemistry sample questions. You can also find the link to the questions in the video description. Now, you'll also find, if you go to that particular link, the periodic table, and you'll find the equations and constants sheet, as well as the keyboarding tip sheet for AP Chemistry. So what I'm going to do, unlike in previous lessons, when I would normally say to you is pause the video, solve the problem, and then I'll explain it, I will be reviewing this question and going over the answers in tomorrow's AP Live session. So today I am not giving the answers to the question, I'm simply giving you the opportunity to simulate the experience. Now, only reason to pause the video would be if you need more time to click on that link and get yourself set up. You can either solve the problem by handwriting it on paper, or if you want to simulate the experience of having a window open to show the question, you can open up a Google Doc or a Word document or something that you're going to be planning on typing. And what I will do is I'm going to assume that you have access to the question at this point, that you've already opened up question number 1, and I'm going to start the timer, which will count down from 30 minutes to 0. And then the last 5 minutes will be for submitting your answer. Now, you don't actually have to submit your answer today, but I'll give you some options when we get to the end of that time period. So this is for question 1, and I'm going to go ahead and start the timer now. So you would have 25 minutes to solve the question and plus 5 minutes for the submission process. All right, here we go. All right, if you are still working on question 1, that's fine. If you have finished composing your answer to question 1, just relax, be patient. I'll be starting the timer for question 2 in just a moment. You will notice that, again, if you are still putting the finishing touches on your response to question 1, that the timer is a total of 30 minutes. And when the timer reaches 5 minutes remaining, then it should change color, and there might be an actual message that would appear on the screen for the AP exam to tell you you should now begin submitting your response. So I will let this timer run, and then I will talk about the submission options that you have on exam day in just a moment. Okay, so technically you can keep working, but at this point, depending on the method that you are choosing to submit, I would hate to think that if you try to finish lingering on answering the question until the final seconds, I don't want you to run out of time to submit your response on the day of the exam. So depending on how long it takes you to cut and paste or attach your file or attach your photo files, this is the window, this 5-minute window in which you should start preparing your response. Let me go ahead and show you your options on exam day. All right, on exam day, you could do option 1, copy and paste, and then click submit. So the best device to use for this particular option would be a laptop or desktop computer. You would have the question open, and you would be typing your response in either a Google Doc, Microsoft Word, Notes, or a similar application. Remember that if you're choosing the copy and paste, don't include images. Save your work often. Type your AP ID and initials at the top of your response. And when the timer has 5 minutes remaining, copy and paste your response into the space indicated and then click submit. So on the day of the exam, you would typically set your computer up with side-by-side windows. So window 1, you'd be opening your browser, Chrome, Firefox, Safari, or Edge, and the exam question will appear after you click on your e-ticket. It would display your test question, display the timer, and again, you can use that browser to paste and submit your typed response. In the other window, that's where you would be typing your document. And again, you're cutting and pasting. You can practice this at cb.org/apdemo. Option 2, and again, you can practice as many times as you like at the AP demo site, would be to attach a document and then click submit. Laptop or desktop computer, you'd be typing in your response. Again, don't include images. Save your work often. Save your document in one of these accepted file formats, a .doc, a .docx, .pdf, .txt, or .odt. Type your AP ID and initials at the top of the response. And when the timer has 5 minutes remaining, attach your response and click submit. Now, of course, for AP Chemistry, because we have 2 questions, then you'll be creating, saving, attaching, and submitting 2 separate documents, one for each question. So once you submit your answer to question 1, then eventually timer will start counting for question 2. So again, you'd have 2 windows side by side, one in which you have the browser, and the other in where you're typing and saving your document. Again, you can go to cb.org/apdemo to practice this. Option 3, attach photos of handwritten response and then click submit. So you'd have several pages, and at the top of each page, you'll write your AP ID, initials, and the page number. So page 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Write your response clearly with either a dark blue or black pen or pencil. And when the timer has 5 minutes remaining, take a photo of your response in vertical orientation, not landscape, 1 page per photo. So if you have multiple pages, you can attach multiple photos. Maximum of 5 photos per test question Most test questions can be answered in either 1 or 2 pages, so you shouldn't need more than 5 pages to do this. Make sure you attach all of your pages before you click submit, and the file formats for this method are .png, .jpg, or .jpeg. So on the day of the exam, you'll have your smartphone or tablet, displays the test question, displays the timer, and you can use your phone to take, or your tablet to take, photos of the written work, and then use to attach and submit photos of written work. So again, you can practice all of this at cb.org/apexamdemo. Remember that submitting responses is a two-step process. Attaching or pasting your response and then clicking submit. If you don't click submit before the timer runs out, your response will not count. Once you click submit, your response may continue to transfer depending on your bandwidth, and this is fine. You'll be able to move on to the next question even while your first question continues to transfer, so long as you clicked submit before the time ran out. Now, at the end of the exam, if your response continues to transfer, you should wait for an on-screen message confirming that your exam is complete. Make sure your submissions have fully loaded before you close your browser or turn off or restart your computer. Now, if for some reason you never see the message that your AP exam is complete, then you can go to cb.org/request-makeup to explain the situation and request an e-ticket for the June makeup date. All right, now for today, for this practice session, you have the option. You're not doing this on the day of the exam, but you have the option to send me your responses to questions 1 and 2. And so the email address you want to use for that is listed on the screen here at apchemistrypractice@gmail.com. Please note that I will not be grading these responses. However, I may choose to share some of the responses anonymously in tomorrow's lesson when I explain the answers to questions 1 and 2. Okay, I'm now ready to show you the timer. For question 2, you can go to that same address that you found question 1. So you are now going to be working on question 2. Again, total time is 15 minutes to work on the question plus 5 minutes to submit your response. Now, again, all of the practice you're doing today at cb.org/apdemo is not going to give you any feedback. It's just for practice to make sure that the format works and to help simulate that, but you're not going to be actually getting responses from that. And the email that I mentioned, the apchemistrypractice@gmail.com, that's just for me. That's just for practice this week. You will not do that on the day of the exam. All right, this is time for you to work on question number 2, sample question number 2, and I'll go ahead and start the timer. Okay, well, hopefully you are putting the finishing touches on your response to sample question number 2. Remember that on the actual day of the AP exam, when you are taking the question and answering it, it is possible that you might not answer every single part of the question. So if you're concerned about somehow submitting a response that is incomplete, it is better to submit your answer on time, even if it is partially incomplete, than to try to squeeze out a little more time toward the end, and by finishing quickly and then possibly not giving yourself enough time to cut and paste or attach your files, then you run the risk of continuing to answer the question in this final 5-minute period. It might cost you too much time. And again, if you don't click submit before the timer runs out, then your response will not be scored. So as you can see, we're in our final 5 minutes. The timer has changed to red. Let me go ahead and remind you again what I said before after question 1. The 3 options you have are to cut and paste. And again, you can practice all of this at the AP Demo website, cb.org/apdemo. So cut and paste, copy and paste from a document. You can save a document that does not include images and attach that to your response. Or you can handwrite your response, take a photo, attach the photos, and then submit those. As I said before, remember that submitting responses is a 2-step process. You're either going to paste your response and click submit, or attach the text file or the photos and then click submit. And again, for practice purposes this week only, but not on the day of the AP exam, you can send your responses to questions 1 and 2 to me at the following email address, apchemistrypractice@gmail.com. Again, I will not be grading these responses, but I may choose to share some of the responses anonymously in tomorrow's lesson. On Wednesday, you will get 2 new practice questions and we'll simulate the timed experience. Tomorrow's lesson will just be me explaining the answers to questions 1 and 2 that you all worked on today. I've already mentioned there are helpful links in the video description, but I'll say that again. You can always check out the video description for helpful links. And here on this slide, you can see that there are some helpful links that include information about preparing for the exam and practicing for the exam. All right, well, tomorrow I will go over the answers to sample questions 1 and 2. I hope that this was a helpful practice session for you all, and tune in tomorrow to see the answers. Thank you. Have a good day. Thanks for watching.